Good morning, everyone. I'm sorry about that. I always seem to be late here, unfortunately, but at least I'm here now, and we can carry on with everything that we're going to talk about. And I bet your football comes into it as well. Bet you any money, any bets going, and football will come into it. Anyway, I've got JK. I've got this fella who's a nuisance sometimes because he watches Lebanese films that we haven't a clue about. Anyway, here he is, Lee Castle, and JK. How's everybody?
I'm good, bro.
Yeah,
All good.
all
How you
good.
doing, Lee?
Good, yeah.
Everything cool, yeah, bro?
Yeah, everything's good, yeah.
Sweet.
Like it. I've got a new computer and it's different. It's like more light, the screen, a new laptop, like it's a little bit different, the camera. I think it's a better one, but it's very light compared to the other one.
Yeah, you look very different. You look a bit more like George Clooney now.
I'll go with that. I'll go for that.
Get me one of them then, bro. I need one as well then.
Go with that. Anyway, so what have you been up to? He's been watching much TV and films and TV series at all?
Yeah. I've been surviving on a football-less diet, in the last few days or whatever since we haven't played. I mean, I've been quite busy of late. Like I've been out and about a lot lately, but when I've been in, I've just been watching quite a lot of telly. In fact, not so much films. I've been watching like series and that. Like Sasquatch, Bigfoot, and that. And the proof is out there. And I like them ones. The American ones. As long as you find decent ones that are rubbish, like decent series, if you find out about the weird and wonderful of our world. There's a new one with Dan Aykroyd called The Unbelievable, something with Dan Aykroyd. And it's not bad. It's all right. I've been watching that.
Well, listen, Dan Aykroyd, do you know what he's had encounters, with UFOs. Did you know that?
No.
In their life. Because he's more or less, he's an amateur ufologist, Dan Aykroyd. I don't know whether you're aware of that. So that'll be interesting. What was it about the unexplained? Does anybody ever remember, even you, JK? There used to be a set of magazines. I used to collect them called The Unexplained. A few years ago. No,
you
got a binder, and every week, you paid like £2 or whatever. And I had the full volume. And they were brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Everything, the unexplained, from the paranormal to UFOs to, the likes of Saskatchewan, the Loch Ness Monster and things like that, with photographs as well.
Yeah.
And I like things like that myself. I like a good documentary as well.
Yeah, the VAR and the Referee Association have got that as well. The Unexplained. Have you seen that one?
You're not wrong there.
You're
not wrong there, mate. There's lots of unexplained things in it. But there's that saying, isn't it, that there's more things on heaven and earth than we understand? And I think it's true. There is some stuff that can't be explained. As much as we like to try and explain everything, there's some stuff we just can't explain. This new thing with Dan Aykroyd, I've only watched like the first couple of episodes, but there's this island in South America with all these dolls on it. Have you ever seen it? All these and they look dead. They're like little girls' dolls, but they're all like weird. That some of them are like half melted and they've got like freaky eyes and all that. I've forgotten what country it was actually in now. I think it might have been somewhere like Venezuela, but there's this little island, and I think there's one in Brazil where it's got something to do with death, and there's loads of snakes on this island. It's like a really poisonous island where humans don't dare step because the snakes on this island are like mondo poisonous. If one bit you, you've had it. Like, you know what I mean? If one bit you on this island, you wouldn't be able to get off it quick enough to get seen to. You'd be dead. Like, so no one goes to this island apart from whoever put all these hundreds of dolls there. These hundreds of weird looking. Macabre dolls.
Did a crew go there? A crew from a ship, and they went on it. They went on the island, and some went missing.
Yeah.
Some went missing, and there was only 2 survivors. And they've said, don't go near that island. But they don't know, it's not like the likes of just dolls or whatever, but they reckon that there's something there that devours you. You know, so I've seen something recently about that. I don't know whether I looked at it or I read about it. I'm not quite so sure now. Because as you know, I do a lot of reading. John Conway, good morning, Frank and Lee and JK from Ireland. Good morning, John.
Sound, bro.
Good morning. But I don't know. I was watching, I'll tell you what I was watching, which surprised me actually, because remember when I said something went wrong with the communal aerial where I live and I couldn't get any terrestrial telly. And then all of a sudden, you know, it was fixed. It was fixed after 4 weeks. Not that I watched terrestrial telly, but the terrestrial just came on. And what was on at midday on a channel called Legend was Zulu with Stanley Baker and Michael Caine. And that took me by surprise, Zulu. And then, you know, I watched it. I watched it through. And it's a great picture. It's a really great film. Have you seen it, JK, Zulu?
I've not even heard of it, bro.
Really? No.
No.
Yeah, well, it's a true story, 1879. Okay. The Zulu Wars, actually. Absolutely. 11 VCs were won during that period, you know, 11 of these things here. 11 VCs.
What's that?
If you can see it, like. Can you see it?
Yeah, what is that?
I'll show you it. I'll show you that.
Oh yeah.
Did you know that I was awarded a VC, the highest military medal that you could win?
Okay.
Did you know I won that?
I knew you had it. I've seen it before, but I didn't know that. What's the backstory?
My backstory when I won this, I went to Goodison once.
Is that it?
Hey, that's worthy. That's worthy of a Victoria Cross. God, last time I went to Goodison was ages ago, and I went with this kid I was working with. He was my mate's cousin. I just met him in a job. This kid, he was about, when I say he's a kid, wasn't that much younger than me, but he was my mate's cousin, and we got on and we started talking from there, and we went to match, and he had this, when we come out of Goodison for the derby, he had a Liverpool like bobble ass and scarf on, and you could see people giving him dirty looks when we were leaving the grounds, and I was like, take that off, mate. Take that off while we're walking back to the train station in case we get attacked or something, because he was getting some real bad looks off some of the Evertonians. So I went, take that off, Brendan, lad.
It's mad. I've been to Anfield loads of times. I never went to Goodison Park just to have a look around. I never went. It's weird.
Yeah.
For some reason, just to have a look, you know, like it's only down the road as well.
Yeah.
One
I'll be gone soon. Yeah.
One of the funniest things I seen though, it was we were playing Atalanta years ago. Strangely enough, it was years ago, and we were playing them. And Everton, no, we weren't. Everton were playing Atalanta years ago. I think it was in I'm going back years ago, and it was in the you know, not wearing now the Europa League, you know, when he
Winners' Cup.
got into it. And it was all in the echo, you know, Atalanta supporters. Do you know where they were filmed from? Outside Anfield.
No.
It was allowed and I got the photograph taken at Anfield. It was so funny. So you could actually put your own caption up. Put your own caption up.
You know how
Anyway,
many people don't realise that Everton is in Liverpool? Like, so many people I've met, and they're like, Everton? Where is Everton? Like, they
where's
don't know
that?
it's
Yeah,
part of Liverpool yet.
yeah. When I've been on my holidays and mentions Everton, and they say every day, and I'm not poking fun or anything. You know, they've actually said that it's just Liverpool. It's just Liverpool that they know of. But anyway, John Conway says it was a great film, which is Zulu. It says it's an outstanding film, to be honest, and a true story.
Oh, it's a classic,
True
yeah.
story. It is, and the cinematography is absolutely
Oh,
stupendous.
yeah.
You know, the scenes are absolutely brilliant. Great film, really very good film. And you know, my advice is, you know, if you haven't seen it, please go and watch it if you can. That is. And I'll tell you what else you can get on YouTube, which is good actually. YouTube's coming out with some smashing films. One is, do you know what? I said to myself, I'll have to write these down. I forgot the title. I forgot the title, but it will come to me. One was called The Accused. The Accused, and I tell you who stars in it. Great actors.
Yeah.
Gene Hackman and
Right.
Morgan Freeman. Brilliant it is. It's absolutely brilliant. You know, what a start, what a middle, what a finish. And if you're on YouTube, look it up. It's called The Accused. The acting's superb.
Are you talking about the one with Jodie Foster in it?
No, no,
Ah.
no. Morgan Freeman and Gene Hackman. And one of my favourite Italian actresses is Monica Bellucci.
Oh, yeah.
I love Monica.
Yeah.
Yeah. I refused to marry her about 10 years ago. So she went back to Italy
Oh, well.
and Hollywood.
You living there, right?
Yeah, well, this is it. You see, you know, a good job she's not. A good job if she's looking in, George Clooney.
Did you see her in The Matrix? The fourth one? She was in
No,
that, the new one.
it's that Keanu. Yeah.
Yeah. She was in that, Monica Bellucci. She plays a pretty good role and stuff. But I wasn't too impressed with The Matrix 4. I just think it could have been a little bit better.
Yeah.
I didn't know there was one, Jay. Didn't know they made a Matrix 4, mate.
I think it came out last year.
Okay.
Yeah, have a watch.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say too much because,
Yeah, it seems like it's a bit too late after when they make another one and it's like 20 years after the fact. It's 25 years since the first one come out. So why are they making a fourth one like quarter of a century later? It's because they've got no ideas now, have they? So they go, that was popular 25 years ago.
Yeah.
Let's make a fourth one. People, you know what I mean?
It's like Home Alone. They made so many Home Alones. You think the social will be around and say, you know what, you don't look after your kids right. You know, you know what I'm saying? So I think like Gene Hackman, you just mentioned him. Like for me, he's a proper actor. If you understand what I mean, proper actor, Gene Hackman. Yeah. You know, they don't make them like them no more. They're just like actors, footballers. I don't know. They ain't as good as they used to be.
Well, do you ever remember Back to the Future? Right. In one of the films, I don't forget what it was. And it has, on the pictures, the cinema, you see, you see him, and he's walking in the street, and in the cinema is a Jaws 24. Jaws 24. So it gives you some idea of like all these, add-ons and whatever. Oh, this is a money spinner.
Remember Airplane with Leslie Nielsen?
Yeah,
and when they're walking through the airport, there's a thing and it says, I don't know, like Rocky 15 or something. There's a picture of like, it's meant to be Stallone and he's about 90 and it says Rocky 15 and there's some old man with boxing gloves on going. Oh, that made me laugh. But the film I've just been watching this morning before we came on has an Italian actress in it. Her name is Kea Scolario, or Scolario, yeah. Shall I tell you about it?
Review it. Don't say the end of it though.
Okay, I won't say the end, but I will say. Can I say what's in the synopsis?
Synopsis, yeah, that's the.
Yeah, because when it doesn't tell you too much. Anyway, it's called Crawl. This Kea Scolario, she's a swimmer. She's like a competitive swimmer. And she goes, there's a flood. It's in Florida. There's a flood. And she goes to her dad's to try and find her dad. And she looks down in his basement. And he's down there knocked out and dazed and that. And she's like, what's up? But then, before she even gets to him, this bloody big alligator comes at her. The overflow from the flood has brought alligators in to their crawl space, and there's a load of them after her and her dad, and they're trying to get away from them. And it's been quite good. Yeah, it's good. I've got about 10 minutes left of it. Shame on me. It's been good. It's tense. Yeah, it's very tense. Yeah. The only thing that didn't ring true is the size of the alligators, because alligators aren't that big, and that is irrefutably false. That alligators get that big because they don't. They were like Nile crocodiles, mate, or Indian crocodiles, you know what I mean? They were too big to be alligators, these things. Never seen alligators that big, mate. But anyways, they had to make it dramatic and make the alligators really big. But it's good, yeah, it's good. I like it.
I've actually seen it, Lee. I've actually seen it though. It's like any of these other water ones. 48 meters down. Yes. Now that was a good film. Two sisters go on holiday, right? One of them's, she was, with a fella. They split up. They had a holiday together. So she decided to bring a sister along, for the holiday and whatever. So she brings her along, and they're talking away and whatever, about the breakup. And you just see them in the pool. And the next, he said, these two fellas come over chatting to them, as you do, and two handsome fellas. And they said, listen, did you go diving? Because they knew that they were swimming. And yeah, we go diving. How would you like to go on? And they gave them a price. But Matthew Modine was in it. He was the captain of this lake. It was a bit of a wreck, to be honest. I wouldn't have gone on it, to be honest. So, a little cheap thrill, going in a cage, going down. And that's where the film started, the two sisters, in this cage going down on this little rickety ship or boat.
Yeah, I seen that one a couple of months ago, mate. So go ahead, carry on. I seen it a couple of months ago and I enjoyed that.
Yeah, well, again, that's another sort of film that, resonates with these the water and shark things, shark films.
There's a newish one with Idris Elba, where him and his two little daughters, they're only young as daughters, you know what I mean? They're not grown, they're only kids, and they're stalked by this giant lion. I've forgotten what it's called, but it's quite, well known, but it garners a lot of attention when it come out. The only reason I mention it is when you look on, say, Sky now, I was watching that Crawl with the alligators, it said at the bottom, it says, more like this. So I went, all right, let's look more like this. And that was one of them. I think it's called Beast with Idris Elba, Beast. And it's like an unimaginably big male lion is after them, stalking them on the African savannah. When I think they're there on holiday, like on safari, you know what I mean? Idris Elba and his daughters. But I want to see that one because it's a massive lion. And I love cats, like I'm a cat person, mate. So I want to see what happens with the lion.
Oh, well, it's not Damocles, is it? No, it's Idris Elba. Okay. No, never heard of it. But it should be interesting, that, because Idris Elba is one of our great actors, isn't he? A very good actor, that is. Very good. I'm going to ask you, boys, because people are now wondering, has he gone again?
No, I'm trying to cut down on the light. The light with this new laptop, the light's shocking. Like it's like really, it's half blinding me. I'm trying to cut
it off. I haven't got a light on. My light, my halo gives me all the light I need, you see, so I don't need the light on.
Yeah, that's
that went down like a lead balloon, didn't it? About me halo.
No, you've got a halo. We've all got halos. We've got on our best behaviour, haven't we?
Oh, hello. Hello. Right. I forgot what. Oh, yeah. I'm going to ask you. Now, I want to talk about Lake Placid after what I ask you, okay? So remind me, so I don't go off track. Right, so, JK, you first. Who should be, in your opinion, the next James Bond?
I thought you were going to ask me who should be the next new Liverpool manager. Actually, Alonso would look good as James Bond. He's got that sort of smooth sort of aura about him. But James Bond, who can you say, really?
Well, who's yours, Lee?
That's a tough one because, if I'm honest, I lost interest in the James Bond films a while ago. I liked the first couple of Daniel Craig ones, but the last couple of Daniel Craig ones, they weren't that well written, in my opinion. It weren't that the acting was bad. I just thought the writing was not up to scratch in the later Daniel Craig one.
I'm not asking about Daniel Craig. All I'm asking is who you think should be the next James Bond.
I don't know. I can't give you an answer. I've never considered it, really.
Well, I love Bond, right? Always watch them. But I never ever liked, and this is a strange one, I never ever liked Daniel Craig. So I wouldn't watch them. And yet, I interviewed Daniel Craig's granddad. And do you know who he works with? His granddad. Not going to believe it. Ian Fleming in intelligence during the Second World War.
God, isn't that spooky? Isn't life ironic, eh?
Yeah, absolutely. And, and this is, I interviewed him before Daniel Craig became a James Bond, by the way. He'd only started out in films, actually, Daniel Craig, at the time. And he was. It's a strange story because he joined the Navy. No, he didn't. He joined the army. He was an officer. He was an officer in the army when war broke out. And he got away from Dunkirk and he said, "Oh, shut this." You know what I mean? He just about escaped from Dunkirk. So he resigned his commission and he joined the RAF. Yeah. And he got shot down over the Channel. So he resigns his commission. It's not a joke, this. He resigns his commission. he said, "Shot down, getting shot down." So anyway, he resigns his commission, and he joined the Navy. And what do you think happened there?
His boat got hit by a torpedo.
No, don't be stupid. No, I'm only joking. It is. He got torpedoed.
When you're saying his plane got shot down, then he went in the Navy and he got hit by a torpedo. Well, you know, me and people like Graham Greene, writers like Graham Greene.
Can I finish, Dave?
Yes.
Thank you. Well, anyway, he was torpedoed, and he resigns his commission again, and he joined the intelligence, and that's where he became friends with Ian Fleming in the intelligence thing. Anyway, what he did, strangely enough, these lads went out into, tell you where they used to go to. They went over to France, the Free French, and, giving them intelligence, giving them arms and smuggling them, whatever. And but this fella, one particular fella, used to get into Germany, used to sneak into Germany, spoke perfect German, no accent. He could speak several languages, by the way, no accent. And he was very sophisticated, apparently. This is telling me, this is him telling me. And that's who James Bond was based on.
Excellent.
A real life character. And let's go on to these lads. Ian McCartney, with City's injuries, I think Arsenal will beat them. Where do you think Arsenal will drop points? Just a minute there, please, Ian. Just a minute, please. Because I'm going to ask the lads there. And John Conway, who do you think was the best James Bond? The best James Bond, I might be a little controversially, but I'll tell you who I strongly recommend to be the next James Bond, because this fella has everything, and I mean everything. He has the looks, he has the hair, he has the height, he has the voice, he has everything, and that's Henry Cavill. Cavill, is it Cavill or Cavill? Superman. He should be the next James Bond. If he isn't, I won't be bothering again with Bond, because I've never seen a Bond film since Pierce Brosnan, because I don't like that. Anyway, and who was the best James Bond? Who was your best James Bond?
For me, Roger Moore, not because he was better as Bond than Connery, but because I enjoyed the Roger Moore films more. They were a lot of fun, which is, that's top of the list when you want to enjoy a film, is that they've got to be fun, especially a film like a Bond film. And there was a lot of fun in the Roger Moore ones, even though he could be a bit stiff at times. And he was way too old to be playing Bond in 1985 when he done his last Bond film. He was really old in 1985 when he done his last Bond film. Too old to be Bond.
Okay. JK, if you ever watched Bond, who was your favourite Bond?
Roger Moore.
Roger the Lodger.
Roger the Lodger. I think he was smooth, if you know what I mean. And I think James Bond needs to be smooth. Roger Moore was that guy, I think.
Do you know what? It's uncanny, this, because that's my favourite. That's why I said no. But he was my favourite, because when you look at him, I always remember him getting off a ship or something, a big boat, and he's walking along the quay with some minister, and but he's dressed in all his paraphernalia, as that a big long overcoat, as a proper Navy commander, and he looks so sophisticated, so suave, so everything, and yet I agree. I agree with you, lads. He was the best Bond for me. He was the best Bond.
Great minds think alike. Well, Fleming, like I was saying before, about writers, Graham Greene was in the intelligence services. He wrote The Third Man. He wrote so many books, but The Third Man is one of his most famous books. And also, I think W. Somerset Maugham worked in the intelligence agency, but that was a long time before. He was well before Bond, and that was in the 30s, the late 20s and the 30s. And Somerset Maugham was in the intelligence services, and he wrote the Ashington series of spy novels, which, they were like a good 20 years before Bond. So W. Somerset Maugham was in there quickly.
What about John le Carre?
Yeah, I love John le Carre as well, yeah.
Brilliant. Tinker Tailor, Soldier Spy.
Yeah, I love that trilogy.
Yeah. But listen, lads, keep it real. Big up, boys. Keep it, lads. You're well.
Now,
bless, bro.
Right, now, Ian McCartney says, with injuries, I think Arsenal will beat them. Where do you think Arsenal will drop points? JK.
Okay, I would say the City game, the Spurs game, and maybe the Chelsea game, the last game of the season. They've even got Villa, I think, at home.
I think they've got to go to Brighton as well, haven't they? They've had Brighton at the Emirates, but they've got to go to Brighton. And Brighton are out of Europe now, and hopefully they'll have most of their players back by the time they play them. So I know we've got Brighton next, and I don't want them to have all their players back for us, but hopefully by the time the Arsenal come to the South Coast, hopefully they'll have a fully fit squad, and we'll be able to take something off them on the South Coast.
They've got Man United as well, Arsenal.
So away as well, Old Trafford, isn't it?
Well, out of the three, it's a 3-horse race, as you know. You can forget about the others. Out of the three, who do you think is the weakest side?
Arsenal.
Yeah.
Okay. What about you, JK?
Arsenal as well.
I said Arsenal last night on. I was watching Jamie Phillips. Forgot all about him actually, and because he was doing all this political stuff, and then a shot on it. He was on him and K-Mac, and I said about it being weak. The weakest side out of the trilogy is Arsenal, and he was an Arsenal troll. And he's giving us some stick. He's giving us Liverpool some stick.
It wasn't Alex Ojidegu, was it? The Nigerian heritage guy. I love Alex. I laugh with Alex. No. He doesn't come to troll. He's usually he's nice, Alex, when he comes on Liverpool things. But I was making him laugh with that Conor Gallagher as a pirate thing on Red Men TV the other week. He was laughing his head off about that, about Chelsea Pirates and that.
No, it was a fellow by the name of Don Carlo Gambino. Cracking name, that isn't it? He's at the Arsenal, but he was really giving us some stick, to be honest. Well, anyway, keep it real. I don't know how to spell his name, but he's a football player. I'm trying to find out what team he plays for. As I heard, Alonso has been promised this guy as well as Musala. I need to get onto it. I loved it. I love how I keep it. His name is pronounced something like tapioca.
Orange juice. Tropicana.
It's delicious.
I've heard that name. I'm just trying to think who it is. Because I've heard that name sort of around in the last year or so.
But he says that anyway, he said. And also he says, tapioca. I haven't a clue myself. But I think that was funny. That sounds like tapioca.
Yeah, I'm just in the middle of doing my film and TV thing with Frank and Jake.
I think what it is, a lot of people are going to say, this guy wants to come to Liverpool, this guy, I've heard that Wirtz-Gieser, the young lad from Leverkusen might come, and this, that, and the other. And I'm thinking, until we get a manager, we can't really say who's going to go, who's going to come, you know. Maybe more of who's going to leave, I think. Because like the club decides that, the manager won't, regarding contracts and stuff. But coming ins, I'm not sure like who's it gonna be. Because a lot of people are saying maybe it's not even going to be Alonso. So
no, he's coming. Believe you me, believe it, he's coming.
That's what I think as well.
No, he's coming. I'm fed up saying it all the time. Not to you or to Lee, but you know, on other sites. Anyway, LA says Tapsoba.
Tapsoba. Sounds like alcoholic.
Got a brother.
We don't need him.
Oh,
do you ever remember when Sabozlai first came? You know the names.
Yeah. I like to get the spelling right. I hate misspelling names, as awkward as Szoboszlai is to spell, but it's not the first S and Z, it's the second S and Z, getting the Z and the S in the right place. That was causing me chagrin when we first got him, getting his name right.
Well,
okay, Edmund Tapsoba is his name. He plays for Leverkusen, yeah.
But you know, when he first came, one of the lads, it was brilliant. It was on my pod, and I went like that. I said, I can't pronounce this bloody name, because the name was just there. And don't forget, Hungary and the likes of Poland and these other places, they've got very awkward names, you know, to pronounce. Because there's loads of consonants in there, you know, in the name, if you know what I mean. It's just like a Welsh name, you know, if you're trying to look at the Welsh thing, they're just full of consonants, no vowels at all. Anyway, getting back to this, I listened to it before, I've never heard of him say keep it real. And he goes on to say, so it's just K-Mac who can't read names proper. So it's just... and he's a defender, Inni. I love that. That he's a defender, Inni. Considering we speak like that, Inni.
Yeah, and the other people, like the rest of England, say in it.
Exactly. Oh, I love it. Really
that's sort of died down now. In it, no one really says in it no more.
No. I was looking there before. You know, I don't use Facebook, and our Francine phoned me. She just phoned me. She said, I'll take you shopping tomorrow, Dad. I said, it's shut. She said, no, it's not, Dad. The only shops ever shut is on Christmas Day. So, because I really need shopping. Anyway, that's by the by. And she said to me, Dad, have a look at this. And she screenshot. It costs £1,020 for an hospitality ticket in the new, you know, in the Anfield Road end, and you get a cup of tea or a cup of coffee or a cup of this. You get like a program, and you know, one of the players, ex-players, walking at that. Well, I know them. So if I paid £1,020, I don't drink loads of tea. I don't drink beer. And that's just to go to a match. Oh, you've got to pay for the beer, by the way. You know, that's not free. You get a complimentary drink. You can drink as much coffee and tea as you want all day. Well, no one drinks loads of coffee and tea all day because they go on the loo all day. Yeah. And I think that's disgusting. £1,020.
I paid £250.
I'm going to pay for tickets for the 2 years. The 3 of us can go.
Yeah, I paid like $250 for a dinner, ticket, and drinks at Anfield, like in a Champions League game, and that's not bad. $250. That's okay.
It's good. No, it's good. Because there are tickets that you can get to go to the Isla Gladstone place and have a meal, and then you're brought up to the game, so you're looked after, and that's like I was going to pay for Francine and my daughter. I think that's around 280 to 300 quid or something like that. I said I'll pay for it because I want my daughter. She's a little red, because she loves most salad. That's who she loves. Anyway, TW74, there he is. How the hell has FSG promised anybody anything? They are a joke. I had to turn off last night when they started going on about giving. Yes, thank you, TW. Yes, I couldn't believe. I turned it on late. And the praising up. What people don't realise is this. If we go in for a player, any player, the price goes like that. And we're getting Bournemouth in. Only because it's the deal with Xabi Alonso was done and dusted. We'd have their manager. Think about that. We've got Bournemouth. And the likes of Edwards, he's not interested. He's just brought his mates in. He's not interested. He's not going to overview Liverpool. And this is the annoying thing. And people are falling for, Richard Hughes, yeah. Who are they? Who is he? He bought Hype for 20 million quid. Or 17 million. And 20 million for Solanke. That's what kind of a thing he is. And who's these fellas? All of a sudden we've got Bournemouth. Look like Bournemouth.
Yeah, but Solanke has
FSG will sell. I'm telling you. Go on.
I was going to say, out of them guys he signed from us, Solanke has actually gone on to do this season at least. He showed, he's like, he sort of just drifted out of the game. I think all in all this season, the way we have conducted business off the field is sort of embarrassing. Like the rumours were Klopp and Edwards fell out and Edwards ended up leaving. And then all of a sudden, Klopp's decided he's leaving. And within weeks, Edwards is walking back in.
They were negotiating last summer with Edwards. Because Klopp don't forget, Klopp had the power. This is where we are today.
Exactly.
And he said, I need players, because he was going mad over Bellingham and Tchouameni. He was fuming over that. He wanted them. Just imagine them playing for Liverpool today. You'd have been destroying everybody.
Yeah.
So, I'll bring it, because he knew. The owners knew the way to get rid of Jurgen Klopp was to bring Edwards back.
Exactly.
It's as simple as that. And if anyone's got a little bit of a brain cell, they know this. So
exactly that, because
I'm going to ask you two now. Who would you rather have at the club, Jurgen Klopp or Edwards?
Straight away, Klopp. Yep.
It's a no-brainer, isn't it? It's a no-brainer.
No-brainer whatsoever.
You've got to understand that. Look at Chelsea, for example. They've brought loads of players in. But if the coach isn't right, or the coach isn't doing right, then players are going to be a waste of money. Klopp got bargain buckets in. He got Robertson for 7 million. Mane and Salah, 30-odd million. So there weren't like 70, 80 million pound signings. That part of it, Edwards done well. You got good players in. But the thing is, Edwards wasn't going on the training ground every day with them. It was Klopp. And if it wasn't for Klopp... So for me, if it wasn't for Klopp and his personality, them guys might have shined, of course. Salah's a quality player, don't get me wrong. But Klopp has brought the best out of even Henderson. Henderson, from what he was under Rodgers and what he became under Klopp, shows you the level of what Klopp is. Pep Guardiola the same, and I think sometimes this new era of football where sporting directors, CEOs are getting more sort of power than the guy who's actually on the training ground is not good for me.
No.
For me, Klopp should be the number one guy who decides who does he want it to play in his team. Back in the days, they'll send a scout out with a trench coat on in the rain, go and watch a player, and it'll be just him and the manager talking with each other. Yeah, boss, I think he's okay. He's not this, that, and the other. But now it's all data. It works, of course, but the coach has to be right for that to work.
Of course, spot on. Spot on. Because what he's got, what he sees in front of him, he knows that he can mould a player. And look at Robertson. Come on, Robertson. He was playing for Hull.
Yeah.
And he was getting skinned. He wasn't like, oh, look at him, he's brilliant, this fella, look at him. He wasn't like that. And he was always left up because he loved running up there. I was talking to an old supporter. He says, you've got a problem there with him, buying him. Why? Because he's always left up the middle, the end of the field, in the opposition area. He says, and a long ball comes down. He said, he's out of position. But he was moulded into what Robertson became.
Yeah.
Do you understand? I know it sounds... You've only got to look at Bradley. You've only got to look at Conor Bradley. You've only got to look at Jones. People were saying he got shut of him a couple of years ago. Now he's pivotal for the side because Klopp moulded him into what he is today.
Robertson, he's a bit of a wild horse. When you look at Robertson play football, he is full on running into situations. And I think at Hull, that's probably what the guy meant, where Robertson just loves running. And he probably ended up halfway up the pitch half the time. But Klopp sort of molded him into a player that sort of could defend and get assists. He had the highest assists in the Premier League at a time until Trent just caught up with him. £7 million, no problem. That's what Klopp is. Genius. You can't get better than that.
No. And this is why, you just don't leave. Look, he's got a squad there. There's only a couple of additions that he needed. That's all. And he'd have to be bought this summer. But I think he would have bought them in the January. But when he said he's leaving, that was the end of it. There was no buys, no nothing, if you know what I mean. So he would have had them in the January window for next season, because as TW said, last night they were going on. Yeah, give Matip another contract. Piss off! I was fuming.
Who the hell said that? About Matip? Who said that?
Oh, they were all going on about it. Yeah, give Matip, well, He's 32 years of age. He's only had a couple of good seasons because he was forever injured. Yeah. He was called Weetabix legs, if you remember. He was always out injured.
He's badly injury prone. When he's out,
and as TW said, he said, I just turned it off, not listening to all that garbage. So did I.
You know what? Matty came in as a free. He's getting paid pretty well at Liverpool. I think for what he's done and the time he's been here, I think enough is enough. I think if he can get on the pitch before the season ends, he's sort of in the window for any club to sign him. I think Frankfurt are interested in him, but I think they're the only club at the moment who are interested in Matip. But if you're in the Bundesliga, Matip, ex-Liverpool player, you'd get him in for a season or two, no problem. So for me, it won't be no problem for him finding a club. It just depends on his injury, how he is. But for me, Thiago probably need to be moved on, 100%, yeah.
Of course. Thiago should have gone 2 seasons ago. 2 Do you know that Naby Keita played more games than Thiago?
If I'm
And everybody was going, oh, he's injured.
Thiago, he should never have arrived. He should never have arrived. We should never have went there.
Exactly. But I tell you what did it, you know, was the Arthur Mello. When Jürgen turned around, the penultimate day of the window closing, penultimate day. And he said to the you know, the reporters, you know, the journals who were there, he said, you were right. I was wrong about midfielders. 3 years ago, I was saying, honestly, 3 years ago, people who know me, what I was saying, we needed 2 midfielders. 3 years ago, I said that. I said, Milner. Everyone goes on about Milner. You think for the last 2 seasons, Milner, he never, when he started the game, he always came up. When he, you know, if he didn't start a game, he came on for the last, like, half an hour or so. He couldn't play a full game. That's what I'm saying. It's the same as Henderson. And they're all saying, oh, great, great. He's the Ringo Starr of Liverpool. Do you know what I mean by that? Jordan Henderson is the Ringo Starr of Liverpool. Do you know what I mean about it?
Being lucky.
Very lucky. Very, very lucky to pick up all those trophies. Do you ever remember when he picked up the Premiership? He was out for months. People forget about that. He has a big thing on his knee. Am I getting excited? It's hit me blood pressure. Anyway, I'm going to read. What did you say?
Sorry, excitement's good. A bit of fervour never did any harm, did it?
No. Well, I'm going to read these out, what the people have been putting in. Keep it real. He mentions, did you see Verge? He lost to Germany and burst out laughing. I never seen that. Well, I was to put a comment in. TW, Klopp all day. They have treated him like, yeah.
Oh, before I forget, can I ask? Ian McCartney said, with City's injuries, Arsenal should beat them. What injuries?
No, please let me go through these, and we'll go back to that. Okay. We'll go back to that. Keep it there. Trent wasn't in the training, but Jota was seen running with a ball at his feet, and Matip is running around the training pit. Oh. Yeah. Nunes and Mo were involved also, says keep it real. So the Nunes talk of aggravating an injury on international duty was nonsense. We all should have said that they were injured. The likes of McAllister, the likes of Szoboszlai, the likes of everyone. It was just as well that Enzo got back early because I don't know what happened with Japan, but he's back anyway. Ale says Matip has to be sold. Has to be. Well, he won't be getting sold because he's going on a free.
Yeah, no one's going to pay cash like with his injury record, but we can move him on for free if he wants to prolong his career. Ditto with Thiago, he can go somewhere else and be injured, can't he?
Yeah. Well, anyway, Nicola Rollerson. I haven't seen Nicola, have I? Nicola, first time. Anyway, the girl says, Klopp doesn't just turn doubters into believers. He turns young average players into world-class players. Perfect man management. Just look at players such as Ginny and Robbo. Ginny was gone. Why did they get rid of Ginny? Incredible. Couldn't believe it. And look at the season we bloody had as well. Youssef. Some lad in the chat on Redmond TV yesterday mentioned giving Matip a move. Yeah, that's what we've been told. It was mentioned last night on the Jamie Phillips show as well. There's me, mate. Steve Evans. Frank and me taking over, lads. And as Keeper says, we can't sell Matter, but we'll be a free. Yeah, that's right. Stevie LFC, Thiago over 7 million in wages for 8 minutes playing time. Yes, he should have been sold 2 years ago. Steve Evans, I tell you, we made. He knows what I'm like. He knows what I've said what we need. Same as Steve. He knows as well. Just nuts. But I agree, we need to bring in a new centre back, preferably a left-footed. Yes, this is what we've been saying all the time. Keep it. Fax Frank says, Ale, thank you 100%. Thank you, fella. Thank you so much. At least we're getting something done. And Steve says, first buy will be a 10p pick and mix from Woolies. But that's the way our owners are. They won't give nothing.
That's what people don't understand, bro. I think they've done it the cheap way. They've turned their 300 initial input into the club for getting the club, and Klopp's turned it into a £4 or £5 billion company. Come on. And the way they've treated Klopp this season, TW was saying in the comments, they've treated Klopp not really well. And
exactly.
They haven't. I don't care like people saying, Bellingham, Klopp don't like buying expensive players. But I'm telling you now,
that's a load of bollocks, as we know.
It's all rubbish. He's just saying that to cover for the owners. And I think Klopp he's a true guy. Like, come on. He don't let nothing out. Like, the owners didn't give me the money for this. He never moans. Because he knows he's a loyal guy. He's not going to badmouth the owners on TV and stuff, in the media. And I think sometimes people who last season wanted Klopp gone, these people need to realise if it wasn't for Klopp, we would never be where we are today. Okay, we've won 1 Champions League under him, 1 Premier League, but we've been in numerous finals as well. Don't get that wrong, So I think FSG have been playing. They let people like LeBron James into the club. Come on,
I asked a question. I asked a question, and I want you to. I'll stay with you, JK. Then you, Lee. Now, I put a comment on. I love Jamie Phillips. You know that he's a smashing fella. Loves Liverpool. Loves the club and everything else. And he does his best. Now, I put a comment on it. I think it was last week or the week before. Not quite so sure, but it was either last week or the last couple of weeks. And I said, whether you agree with me here, I said, if Klopp would have been given the financial clout that he deserved, we would have won another Champions League and another Premiership. Would you agree with that, JK? That statement I've just made.
100%. When you look at the net spend of both managers, Man City and Liverpool, Klopp and Pep, Pep's spent double. So Klopp with the transfer budget like Pep's, we would have won probably more Premier Leagues, 100%.
Okay. What about you, Lee?
Without a shadow of a doubt, irrefutably. There's no two ways about it, Frank. If Klopp had been bought, say, a decent goalie and a decent centre half when he arrived, he'd have won the league quickly.
Well, I more or less got lambasted for saying that because it was just bad luck that we didn't win it. I couldn't believe that comment coming out, what I said. And then what came out was we were just unlucky. We wouldn't have won any league or anything.
No, a bad squad isn't bad luck.
Exactly. It's not bad luck, is it? If we would have had those couple of extra things, the draws that we acquired could have been turned into wins, and then we would have won the league. That's the way I look at it. Calm down. Calm down, Frank. Remember your high blood pressure. Exactly. Injuries, my arse. City lying through their teeth as per says Stay.
Yeah, they do it all the time, mate. City do that all the time. Such and such is injured, such and such is injured, and then the game comes around, like, and they start. I never believe anything that comes out of City's media, like, this player's struggling, that play. Who? Well, somebody said to him on here the other week, he went, Bernardo Silva, it was K-Mac, he went, Bernardo Silva's got a bad injury now, he's going to be out. He was out for one game, mate. He missed one game. One game.
See, as as I'm going to go through these comments, is that all right? Then we can discuss them. I don't think I'll be discussing Lake Placid, lads. Anyway, Steve, let me go through them. Okay, let me go through all these without jumping in. Steve LFC, Pep's mind games again with the so-called injuries, and Yusuf says Walker, Stones and potentially Ake are injured, but I don't believe a word Pep says. Steve says Jenny was never injured, and he wasn't injured. He was always there and given 100%. Well said, that Steve. Well said, mate. And Norman, morning. I'm in queue for tickets for Sheffield United game. It's a nightmare. After Francine phoned me, she said, Dad, she was the 225th or something. She said, and I didn't get one. So I might buy her an hospitality one. I might buy one of them for the birthday. Keep it real. That was Edward's call, that, Frank. He didn't want to renew Ginny's contract. Yes, I know. I do know that, Keeper. I do know that. Mark Simons. Mark's in a legal country that we own, Gibraltar. Give it back to the Spanish. What's going on with Luco's dad after all the club has done for his son? He keeps talking about Spanish clubs. Is it to engineer a pay rise as he is on 60k a week? Does he deserve it? Okay, now let me go through these, please, and we will discuss these honestly. Brian Morrissey, morning lads, morning Brian.
Morning, Brian.
Here's our lovely Jane. Morning, Frank and chat. Hope you're all well and looking forward to the Prem this weekend.
So indeed.
And all them little little hearts and kisses and everything else on that little gift is for me. If any lads throw gifts like that, and kisses, they're for you lads, not them. And as Steve Evans says, those effing yachts and tit jobs don't come cheap, Jesus, will get me into trouble. And Norman, people think Edwards and Hughes are geniuses. They are not. Of course, give them a chance, but it does seem odd, all these jobs for mates. Ultimately, I don't trust FSG. Here's your mate. We've got Bournemouth. Think about it. We've got the backroom staff. Oh, blimey.
I fancied that Tim Steidman more than this Richard.
I wanted him.
From West Ham, yeah?
I wanted him.
Yeah. I like what he did with the Rice money. Like the guys he's brought in for the Rice money. Come on. Kudus, Paqueta, come on.
Yeah.
Top players.
I want to know what Richard Hughes has done to deserve coming here. What's he actually done?
We're at a different level, and people, they go, oh, yeah, Richard Hughes, he's great, isn't he? Oh, yeah, great, oh, great. Oh, today, who is he? And, you know, they go, you know, for a job, he doesn't come, we can get that hammer and, you know, we can get him. Have they ever heard of him before? It really annoys me. It really annoys me.
I'd be really shocked if one of Walker, Stones and Akanji was out for the Arsenal game, just one of them three. I doubt any of them will be. But if it had to be one, I'd pick Walker to be out.
All right. Well, Steve says, I'm sure FSG didn't pay for the new stands out of their own. No, they didn't.
No, they didn't.
No, they didn't. We paid for it. Not them. I could have borrowed the money off the Royal Bank of Scotland and bought it for 300 million. Me. And what profits that were coming in, because we've got a massive profit portfolio, a massive collateral. We, Liverpool Football Club, I would have just put everything back into the club. Everything.
Yeah.
Everything. They're just taking everything out. LeBron James, who's he?
Exactly.
Who is he? He gets 31 million every year. Who is he?
Baseball.
Standing there with a baseball thing like this. With you never walk alone on it. What the fuck is that all about?
American sport doesn't interest me, mate. You know what I mean? It's just
It's not the American sport. I'm not interested in it myself. But it's this big fella who FSG brought in because they want America to, oh, look, you know, look at LeBron. Who's doing it? Fuck off.
PR. Perfect guy to do it as well. He's big in America. Yeah, as soon as that deal came through, I was like, which direction is this club going? They got Elton John playing on the Anfield Road pitch. You know what I'm saying, bro? They're doing concerts for Elton John on the Anfield pitch. Come on. Come on. What is this club doing, you know? Make your money. They made 600 million last season, yeah? They made 600 million profit.
600, I know.
Yep. And what did we get last summer? We got Szoboszlai for about 65. And then we got Endo for 12 and McAllister for 35-ish.
Yeah.
Not a big outlay. Come on, guys. That's not big.
No,
you know, look who we let go.
Well, we brought most of that money back in for Hendo and Fabinho. Most of that money came straight back. You know,
the wages, bro. Exactly. The wages that Hendo, Fabinho, Milner was on top. Good whack as well. So look at all the wages. Yeah. And look at Diaz. He's on 50 grand.
That was Klopp. I'm sorry there, JK.
No, go on, bro. Go on.
The thing is, Klopp is loyal to some players. And he won't let them go. He became too loyal to Milner. Milner should have gone 2 years ago, 2 or 3 years ago. He should have done. He was 36 at the time, and he was losing his legs. But people, I don't know when they were coming out. Oh, yeah, he was running in Dubai, you know. He was going jogging in Dubai. So what? Jogging in Dubai. I see loads of fellas 70 odd years of age running around here. They're jogging. I just can't believe some of the phony comments. Horrible, stupid. Anyway, I'm going to go through these people. It was a loan with interest from our owners, says, yes, it was, Norman. It was a loan by our owners, and we had to pay it back with interest. Completely agree, Frank, says LA. Thank you, LA. At least someone's agreeing with me. Steve says, couldn't Pep have done what Klopp had done without City's oil money? No chance. That's why Jurgen is the best, absolutely. And our lovely Jean. We need that boost to push on and challenge City. FSG let us down. FSG let us down. Thank you. 100%. And 100% again agreed, says TW. You're so right there. You're so right. I can't go through them all, but just let me just go through these. Look at how many loans we have had since FSG came in. They are not willing to go that little bit more, even for us. I will never trust them, says yes.
Yeah.
Says
Norman,
no.
I like him, yeah.
Yeah, he's absolutely spot on. If Stones is injured, that's a massive boost for Arsenal, says Mark. And Herbert Lom's, so you love this fella, Herbert Lom's brother. We never seem to pull our players from international. Even Arsenal are doing it now. That's what we were talking about it privately yesterday, to be honest, Herbert.
When I think about managers pulling players out of internationals, the first manager to think of is Alex Ferguson. He was forever doing it. I don't think Ryan Giggs ever played for Wales in his 20s, did he? He only started playing for Wales again when he hit 30, because Fergie pulled him out of every single Wales squad in existence in his 20s when he was an integral part of United's team.
It's old school way. It's an old school way. You know, Pep and even, what's his name, Arteta's pulling them tricks out, you know? So...
Let me just go through these three comments here. Youssef, Ale and John. Youssef, I'm also aware of rumours Arsenal have injuries. Gabriel, Saka and potentially Martinelli. I think Martinelli is injured though, and Saka, both of them. But I'm not so 100% sure. They are injured. I don't know about the other fella though. And Ale says, not strengthen the squad. And I want your comments on this after give John's comment. Not strengthen the squad after winning the Champions League was criminal, and is where all the problems started. Completely, all the problems started completely. FSG's fault, and I'll never forgive them for that. Get them out. That's what Ali says. And John says Liverpool can now work on finalising a move for Xabi after boxing off key appointment behind the scenes. Right. What about that, JK? You know, about what LA says not strengthening after the Champions League game.
That was for me the pinnacle time where any Liverpool fan knows which direction these guys are going. You know, you just made a lot of money from your initial outlay, and the thanks that Klopp got was Adrian, Sepp van der Berg, and I don't know, and someone else. I think Thiago came in that time as well. So that was a gift Klopp got for getting us into a Champions League final and winning it. Embarrassing, you know. That showed you the true colours of these guys. Minimum outlay for players. Look at Coutinho, cost us 8 million. We got rid of him for 140. You know, that's the sort of business.
8 million getting 150 for him.
Yeah, crazy, bro. You know, big money. That's their model. They're like cheap, because like I've seen the film Moneyball with Brad Pitt. It just sort of gives you an insight of how they sort of work. And you can see it with the amount of fans who would say they'd rather have Edwards than Klopp. There will be fans who would say that. There will be fans who will say that. And for me, I'm never really connected to the Edwards lad in the way he sort of just drifted away from the club. He just sort of went. Yeah. And all of a sudden he's coming back. Come on. That's iffy.
Yeah, of course it is. And Norman says, is that Galloway's missus like that last night? Yeah, Galatasaray. Yeah, that's his wife, Galatasaray. Because we were on the George Galloway show last night. And she's laughing at, who's she laughing at? Oh, she must be laughing at Lee with his George Clooney looks. You know, because of all the lighting and everything on his new computer. It's
more sensitive to the light. I've just changed the bulb behind me, so it's not as like bright, but it hasn't really done anything. It's not working.
But you know, you're there. We can see you, and we can hear you. And your fringe is getting longer as well.
My face is really pasty, and I've got a bit of a tan. I've got a bit of a tan, like, but my face looks dead pasty. So I don't know what's going on with this laptop. It's very sensitive to the light. It's making me look like.
I had a little mate, right? You know, you grow up with, like, and when we were there in when we were in our late teens, my grandmother used to be just sitting there, you know, used to walk in, and I always borrowed money to go out, you know, off of it. Anyway, and my mate was standing there. She said, I suppose you've come for money. And I went, yeah. Suppose you come for some borrowed money. She said, yeah. And she turned around to the went like that. You've got a pasty looking face, don't you go out? Pasty looking face. So I went south, you know, and I said, the old grandmother called him there, you know, so he got his nickname was Pasty Face. Seen Pasty Face about. Sorry, Pasty, if you're still going, mate. Anyway, Jean Grace says, I wanted the Brighton or West Ham yet, to be honest. Of course, that's what we wanted. When is the TV and film show, says Herbert Lumley's brother. Frank, your face is going red. And Ali Noose, our Romanian friends. Sup, boys? Frank, you look fire. I am fire.
That's the topic. FSG topic.
Yeah. What you think? You know, yeah, let me just, you know, Bonkers says we need elite type players in our club. This is what it's all about, Bonkers. You know, we're getting Bournemouth. Think about it. Please just think about it. We're getting Bournemouth. We're getting Bournemouth. I remember being on LFC TV, and it was when I was always, there was a few players, ex-players who used to be on, but St. John was most, you know, was always on with him. Became good friends in the Saint. And when it was announced that Roy Hodgson was coming, I think we were doing a live broadcast as well. We were, and we just looked at each other and went. We couldn't say it out loud, you know, we're in, coming here. And that Bonkers there, he says we need elite type people in our club, and we do. But unfortunately, we're taking a giant step back here. That's my opinion. You know, people could disagree with it. Fine, not bothered. But we've got Bournemouth. We've got Michael Edwards as mates. He's friends with them. And I know for a fact that he loves Roberto De Zerbi. I know he loves him. Think about that as well. But he's not coming anyway. We've got Xabi.
Is that why? Is that why he brought that Richard Hughes geezer in? Because he knows him and he's his mate or something?
Yeah, it's his mate. It's his mate. And then now two other fellas are coming in. The scout. And the last fella who's been brought in, this other scout, he's only been at the job for 3 years.
So the criteria now is if the mates that they come in.
Yeah, jobs for the fucking boys. Sorry to swear, but it's annoyed me. I don't give a fuck what anyone says about me, though, to be honest. Disagree or whatever. Getting Edwards back, we are hoping lightning strikes twice, which it never does. But let's wait and see, says Ale. Norman, I think the way Henry has treated Klopp is disgusting. I don't know how some of our fan base seems so insistent on Edwards being so good. Klopp, it's down to King LeBron joke. Only one king at our club is right. And we all know who that is without saying his name. He's a lovely fella, though. He's here, but it's that LeBron. I don't give a toss about LeBron. He just takes 30-odd million every year away from us. For what? Is he here at the game? No.
I'll be honest with you guys. I've not been watching a lot of. In fact, I haven't watched hardly any footy streams since we last played. I haven't been avoiding it on purpose. I've been busy. But when I have been having my leisure time, when I've been in the house, I've not been watching anything footy, so I've not heard what Diaz's dad said. I knew he went on about Barcelona a couple of months ago or something, but has he been saying it again, has he?
I think what it is with him, he's been going to the games, and Diaz he's on like 55, 60 grand a week. So you've got two possibilities there. One, pay increase, or two, get a move to Spain. Because like South Americans, I know it's cliche, but South Americans want to play in the sun in Spain. It's like their dreams, you know.
Well,
it's like when you're born in Liverpool.
Don't they? The culture, the language, the weather is similar to where they come from. And there's a lot to be said for that. I understand that, and I haven't got a problem with that. If I was a South American player, I'd want to play in Spain rather than the Premier League.
Exactly. So that's the way football is now, you know. But the way Diaz's dad cheers in the crowds and stuff, wears Liverpool tops, I think it could be a pay rise, you know. When you look at the amount of energy, okay, Diaz has had a up and down sort of career at Liverpool, but each game he's played this season since the thing with his parents was over, he's improved every game. Bar that Man United game, he didn't really play well in that game, but other than that, every game getting better. I've never been a big Diaz fan. Never been a Diaz fan. But I've seen in that Man City game, for example, the amount of energy he was burning for the cause showed me where he's at. So he's firing now. You know,
Absolutely.
For me, he can go in the summer if he wants to. But until then, he's a Liverpool player. Win us the league title, bro.
Absolutely. But the only player I want to take his place really is I can't pronounce his name. The lad from
Napoli, yeah.
Love him. You know that I watch Napoli on Inter, don't you? You know, because of my grandparents and that, and you know they supported them. The Azzurri as well. But anyway, they supported them, and I've been watching Inter. I've been watching Napoli, and I 3 years ago, I was watching that lad. He was unbelievable. Do you ever remember he destroyed us when we played him, Napoli? Do you remember when we played them?
Yeah.
He destroyed us.
Yeah, we got it hiding, didn't we?
Yeah, and Robertson was on him as well. Anyway, Ali News, is everything about business for the Americans? They came to make money. LeBron James, blah, blah, is there for business only. Agreed 100% with Frank. Milner was on the bench at City. Gravenberch the same. Our lovely Gene. They only brought LeBron to gain USA crowds, making us into an American commodity. Very good point. We are Liverpool FC, British through and through. It's sickening what these owners are bringing to our clubs too. That's a great comment.
Yep.
Isn't that a great comment, lad?
Yeah, well, Gene's spot on because Man United tried that guff, didn't they? Where they were like allied with American this and Americans. Do you know what I mean? They tried to because their owners are American or whatever. They tried to make it more palatable for Americans. But at the end of the day, if Americans aren't interested enough in soccer without getting basketball players involved, then F them. You know what I mean? You can go and watch bloody basketball,
Exactly.
Well, crazy. John says, Frank, I can't wait till we win the league to see fans running on the pitch. The last time I saw it was in the 80s. You never walk alone.
Those were the days.
Yeah. I remember being down at Wolves when we won the league. and we ran on the pitch.
Yeah.
It was great.
I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. You're a bad scally, you, Frank. You're a badly behaved person, you. I've heard about you and all your mates from bloody Vauxhall.
No, I'm not from Vauxhall. I live in Vauxhall now, but I'm from Jerry Gardens. I always remember my mother, right, and my Auntie Leah. And my Auntie Leah, you know, like just after the war, whatever. Well, my mother, you know, going out, she was only a young lady right after the war, and going out, she had all this black hair, you know, typical Italian. And my Auntie Leah, you know, very pretty and typical Italian. And going out, and this fella came up to her and went like, hello. She said, yeah, really. Anyway, cut a long story short, she said, he said, where do you live? And she said, oh, I live up there. And he said, what's the name of the road? She said, oh, no, I live in Gerard Gardens, right? So anyway, when they were coming up and it was night, this fella turns out to be my dad, by the way. He was a New Zealand Navy officer. He was at SBS, you know, Special Boat Service. He used to go in the water and blow up submarines and things. I think he blew a few bars up, to be honest. Anyway, no, he didn't. Anyway, when they were coming up, seen the block, right, and all the lights were on. And he looked at it and he went, is that your house? Your block was very down. Oh, sods off your soft get.
So, Frank, the actual area is Gerard Gardens in? Is it part of it's just outside town?
It's the posh part, yeah, of Scotland Road.
Mm-hmm.
Where London Road, you know London Road.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know Islington?
Mm-hmm.
That's where Gerard Gardens was.
Yeah, I've got you. I know. Yeah, I know now.
And Scotland Road was further just like there. You could see it from there. So it was just in that quadrangle there, or triangle.
Mm-hmm.
That's where they grew up, very posh. And when we were going on, Ali says, yeah, what did Steve say? Only Xabi or the sporting coach. Yeah. No, Xabi's it's nailed on, Steve. But Amaram, no one has ever heard of him. Then all of a sudden, everyone wants Amaram. Who is he? I want someone here who knows Liverpool. Not just Liverpool, the club. I want him to know me. I want him to know JK. I want him to know Gene. I want him to know Lee. I want him to know Bonkers. Everybody. Norman. I want them to know everybody. Something that, you know, resonates with the city and the fans. That's who I want. And Xabi Alonso is the only person who fits that bill. Not somewhere outside, not these fucking fellas from Bournemouth. What do they know about us? Sick over that.
Maybe it'll work out. You know, maybe we're all thinking, oh, it's not a great appointment and that, but it might work out. You never know, do you? Until the guy actually takes his, you know, is in his position. And
I think this lad sums us up. I've just seen it, Ali. I'm sure the Bournemouth guys were dirt cheap, which would suit FSG perfectly.
It's good to have on their CV, even if they leave the club later. I was a scout at Liverpool for this number of years and stuff. So for them, it's a no-brainer going to Liverpool from Bournemouth, you know. So they can end up paying on not top wages, you know. But I understand what you're on about, Frank, where this sudden urge to get everyone from Bournemouth. Like, where's that from? You know, us fans want it to work. You know, I think it's like a player like Gakpo, for example. A lot of people moaning about him, but all in all, you're going to back the guy when he starts on, say, Sunday. If he's starting, you want him to score a goal. You know, so we always want the best for our club. You know, forget what's going on off the field and this, that, and the other. But it's just the art of how they do it. You know, I just didn't like the way Klopp came in, said he's going to leave. Edwards ends up coming back straight away, brings his mates from Bournemouth as well. We want them guys to do well, you know. But I don't want Edwards to say in 18 months' time, oh, I don't really get on with this manager. I need to leave again. You know, he's done it once, you don't know. So that's football nowadays. I will never understand how a guy, I'm not even sure, can Edwards even play football? But
no.
I'm not sure. Can he play? Like, has he ever played Sunday League? Has he ever? Yeah, no one knows nothing like that, you know. So stats wise, he's the guy. He knows the facts about this, that, and the other and stuff. But the relationship with the new coach is going to be important for him as well, you know.
But do you know what, JK? And this is what people are forgetting. He's not going to Liverpool. For his job is just a little part of the cog. That's what it is. It's just a spoke in the cog, in the wheel. That's all it is. Because that's why he's brought in this fella Hughes and Hughes' mates. That's why he's brought them in. Do you want a job? Do you want to come up to Liverpool, mate? Do you want, yeah, all right, yeah, they'll come up. That's right. So they've come up. Do you know what? I thought I was having a good day today. I thought I was going to talk about nice films and Lake Placid. Has anybody seen Lake Placid, by the way?
Yeah.
I'm talking the one with Brendan Gleeson in and Bill Pullman. Yeah,
and Oliver Platt.
Brilliant. Funny. Watch it. If you haven't watched it, all you lovely football fans, watch it. It's brilliant. There's some gems in it.
I'm not going
Brendan Gleeson, absolutely brilliant. Bill Pullman, he's just Bill Pullman. He's just a nice, you know, everybody loves Bill. And Oliver Platt, what an actor he is. Oliver Platt, he's brilliant in it. Very sarcastic in it. You know, Brendan Gleeson. I'll just say the beginning of it. And you see him, and he's out on a little thing because something's going missing, isn't he? He's out on the lake. And his mate goes under, doesn't he? You know, this sort of cop in all this frogman stuff. This thing, and he comes up, doesn't he? You just see the fella come up and he pulls him out of the water, doesn't he? How does he realise that he's been bitten in half? But just watch it. It's brilliant. It's brilliant.
I'm not going to give nothing away, but I enjoyed the bit where the bear pops up by the lake. The bear pops up to scare them.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Brilliant. And it squeals, doesn't it? A big grizzly goes like that.
Big grizzly, yeah.
Very good. Look, Ali Nus, our Romanian friend, Diaz is one of our best players, and Diaz has one of the lowest salaries at the club. I will not judge him if he will leave. I won't judge him for that.
No.
Sadio Mane, how good do you think he was, Lee? But I'm going on about it.
Brilliant.
What do you think, JK?
Top class. Yep.
He was one of the lowest paid at Anfield. And do you know what he said? Do you know when he wanted to rise? Hey, he wanted to say, he said, can he have the same wages as Milner? That's all. He wouldn't give him it. And there's our friend Ashislin, me. Some name that, isn't it? Like Ashislin. Like, imagine De Zerbi with his attacking style in this Liverpool squad. I'm sure we will see another 7-0 or even more. Would you like to comment on that, JK?
The thing is, Brighton, I think under Potter, they were a better team. De Zerbi, very inconsistent. Okay, he lost Casado and McAllister, two of the main players at the club last season. So you got to understand that as well. De Zerbi, I'm not sure he's for me, not for Liverpool. If he wants a big job, I think he needs to get Brighton on the right way, get them consistent and stuff. But after Sunday, because they've got Arsenal and I think Man City as well left after us. So
yeah, what do you think, Lee? Shall I read it out again?
No, I like De Zerbi. I can see where Hashash means coming from. I like De Zerbi, but I'm not sure he'd be the man for us. But saying that, he's got a rubbish squad at Brighton, and he's got a rubbish squad that's always hemorrhaging its best players. So if you put him in with our squad, he could do well. But
he's got a rubbish squad. But just all right, hypothetically, let's do a scenario. All right. Now, what's the first thing that FSG do every summer? They clear out, don't they, players?
Mm-hmm.
Okay? You know where I'm coming from on this. Now, we've got the backroom staff of Bournemouth. So, they're going to bring players in. Yeah? And once they start bringing players in, the prices go from there right up, bang. Liverpool coming in for them. Yeah, let's treble the thing. Okay? And people forget about that. So, De Zerbi, he's got these backroom staff, and he's got, these people who bought Solanke for 20 million, Jordan Ibe for 17 million, and he's sitting there, and he's got this, all players. How do you think Liverpool would do? Under Roberto, do you think they'll be hitting the ground running? Don't think so.
Shabby's our man, isn't he?
Yeah.
Exactly, Gene. Exactly, love. Exactly.
Yeah. And there isn't the time.
Should we have a whip round and get Diaz's dad kidnapped again? Not a real sort of a one, not a real one. Just put him in.
I thought you were going to say, let's have a whip round and give him some extra wages a week.
Shut his dad up. We'll bury him in a box underground for a few weeks, so he shuts up.
Yeah, all they say.
He's playing the game.
Is that fella, is it? Who I like?
Yeah, from Napoli, yeah.
So you're on the same.
Napoli, mate. Napoli charge about £1 billion for any player. They got about nearly 100 million for who was that centre half, the Ivory Coast one that we liked, or was he Senegal? Senegal. He's the same as Mane, Senegal. What was his name?
Went to Chelsea.
Yeah, went to Chelsea for about 80 million, and he was 32 when they signed him. 32, and they paid 80. They paid more than we paid for Virgil, and Virgil was 26 when we bought him.
Yeah, he's going to cost 200 million, that guy.
Yeah.
No doubt.
We can't afford him.
Cedric Lopez. Don't comment yet. JK, okay. Cedric says, big up, Frank, JK, Lee. Hope you're all well. I feel we will get to Zerbi. Someone easy for the club to get. Diaz's dad should keep quiet. I feel sorry for what he went through. But JK.
Easy to get, yeah. And also Almiron, if we wanted Almiron, he's going to cost us 25 million. That's what they're saying. So there's transfer fees attached to managers nowadays. So they want someone they can get for free. You know, so Alonso, the sort of situation he's going to be in, if he wins the league this season, the fans will want him to stay and do a Champions League campaign together, you know, with the same players. So you got to look at that as well. I think if Alonso comes second, you know, a lot of fans are going to say, "Oh, he's bottled it." So for me, he needs to win the league in Germany this season, and then he could come to us. And I think the Diaz situation, his dad's just playing the game. You know, his lad's playing for Liverpool. He's about 27 years old. His dream is he wants to play for Barcelona or Real Madrid. I can't really see him going to Real Madrid, but so that's for me. That's what's going on right now. They also know that Klopp's leaving. You know, Klopp's leaving, so Diaz's dad's probably thinking, you know what, maybe it's time for my son to leave as well. He's been here like nearly 3 years now, yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm just laughing at that. Captain Sells. Afternoon, lads. I'm expecting Edwards to bring in Alonso. he can with FSG. Straight to the point. I don't swear. I can't swear, you see, so I don't use expletives. But I would have used the expletive. Do I swear, JK?
Don't we all?
Do I swear, Lee?
Yeah, been this morning, yeah.
No, you should have just said no. God, blimey. Like, people are joining late. Didn't know that I swore. See what I mean? Fancy getting nicked, you know. Say like we were 3 bank robbers, us 3. JK, Lee, and me. And we get nicked, right? And we're in a different cell. And me and JK ran away. We got away, you know. Oh, this is great. And we'll be saying, me and JK will be saying, Lee won't say nothing. He'll not say nothing. It was with you, Lee. Frank and JK.
That was happening. Like, I wouldn't even do it on purpose. I just wouldn't really think. They go, "Who was with you?" And I go, "Oh yeah, Frank and JK." Sorry, I mean, Edward.
Oh,
it's your name, said lad.
Oh,
You big mouth.
I wouldn't think you. I'm Frank and JK. But Andy, after in there, they're at my place down around the corner there, number 32. God, blimey. Don't believe it.
Too honest, mate. Too
honest. Alan Parker, very underrated British director. Remember Kaz? Alan Parker was a great director, yes.
I mentioned him on George Galloway's stream last night. I don't know if you read me comment, but we're talking about Gaza and Palestine and Israel, and I was saying there's a quote from Robert De Niro when Robert De Niro plays Satan in the Alan Parker film Angel Heart with Mickey Rourke, and Robert De Niro, like, he's a Lewis Cypher, isn't he? He's Lucifer, he's the devil. And he says, there's not enough religion in the world to make men love one another, but there is enough to make them hate one another. And I thought I'd regurgitate that quote on Galloway's thing, because it's true, innit? Like, you know what I mean, about religion. Is not enough.
One of Leo Tolstoy's great quotes is this: if you feel pain, you're alive. If you feel others' pain, you're a human being. You know, if you feel the pain of others,
Mm.
what a quote! What a quote! I hope someone feels my pain, the pain that I'm going through, broken hearts, and going.
What you going to say? Your arm's playing up again? Where you were saying your arm was sore and all that the other week, and your back and stuff. You got to say that?
Emmett Lamb's brother says, Emmett Lamb's brother says, language Timothy, sorry, Ronnie says, right. And LFC Aaron says, sorry, Herbert. The talking so like, keep it real. I'm saying, all right, keep it, yeah. That's great. Emmett Lamb's brother, all right, Emmett Lamb. That's so funny. And even, let's see. And Brian says, Angel Art is a great, yes, absolutely brilliant. De Niro, superb. Mickey Rourke when he was, before he took up, before he went nuts.
Favourite, isn't it? The name of the singer who sold his soul to the devil, Johnny Favourite, or Jonathan Liebling was his real name, apparently.
Watch it if you haven't seen it. Watch it. It's a great film. Before Lee tells you the ending, don't tell them, Lee. John says, Angel Art, God, a sick ending. I didn't it? But don't tell them the ending. If you haven't watched it, watch it. It's a fantastic film. Do you guys still see Trent as an RB moving forward? Many fans suggest him to move to midfield, but the thing is, our midfield already stacked. That's a very good question, JK.
I think this is a wasted season by Trent. When you look at it, him getting injured, not really good timing. But I think if he's going to do anything this season now, and if he wants to play in the Euros, I think Trent needs to get his game sorted, get back into the team. I think Bradley coming in sort of has gave us more time for Trent to rest. I think you remember with Trent, he was injured and he came back very quick because Connor got into the team and we weren't really sure how well Connor's going to do. So we sort of rushed Trent back. What happened? Trent got injured again. So seeing Bradley sort of move forward and doing well has actually gave us a bit more time with Trent to get fit.
If I'm honest, I don't really see Trent in midfield, mate. I just like if Xabi comes, then hopefully he'd be a wing back if we play 3-5-2. But if we don't play 3-5-2, I'm hoping Xabi sees him as an attacking right back like he is now. But we won't know until the new manager's here what Trent's future is in that regard. But I don't really see him as a midfielder, to be honest, although he can play in midfield. I see him as an attacking fullback or a wing back if we play a 3-5-2.
Thing is, like when you look at Leverkusen wing backs this season, their numbers they're getting assist wise big. When did we look dangerous? We looked dangerous when Trent and Robertson were playing wide and getting the balls in. Over the last season or two, that sort of died down. That Trent effect from the right, with Salah working together, because Trent ended up playing in the middle of the park, so he can only sort of spray balls left or right. So, but when you're playing on the right, you could swing balls in to get goals. So that's the difference there. I think we're missing that from Trent. I just wish that sometimes Trent can get back into that mold of playing that sort of right back position. It's what made him. I think sort of as a footballer, I've played as a number 10. I played up front, but I've also played right back. And when you play right back, because you've played up the pitch a lot of times, the first inkling is I want to go forward. So I think Trent's in that sort of zone now where he's played football for a long time now at right back. got loads of assists, but now I think he wants to do something more. And I think that midfield thing, we've tried him in midfield. He sort of drops into midfield anyway when he's playing right back. Yeah. So, the only time I would play Trent in midfield is when we are playing away at Real Madrid or Man City, for example, and we need 2 GMs. I'll drop him next to Endo and let McAllister play in front of them.
Yeah, I mean, there's quite a few possibilities, isn't there, with Trent and the new manager and the new formation, if we have a new formation. For all we know, Xabi could come in and say, right, I'm having a back four here in the Premier League and I'm going to carry on 4-3-3, like Jurgen played, just maybe with different selections. So we'll see, because we don't know. There's no, even if Xabi comes, there's nothing saying he's going to carry on playing a back three, a 3-5-2, or whatever he plays, 3-4-3 at Leverkusen, 3-5-2. There's nothing saying that he'll carry on doing that when he comes if he comes here, because Pep doesn't play that. Arteta doesn't play that. Rivals play a back three, really, in the traditional sense. Because the inverted fullback, it's still a 4 really, isn't it? And the fullback moves around into midfield and then back again. So we just don't know, do we? Until it's happening.
Yeah, but I think if that way he's played football this year, if it works this year for Alonso and he wins the Bundesliga and say he wins the Europa League, I don't think he's want to really sort of switch it to a different sort of formation. I think if it works for him this year, he will want to bring that into his next job. Yeah.
Oh, there's one of our former players that's passed away, Larry Lloyd. He was a centre half, Larry, for us. Good. I think he went to Nottingham Forest.
He did, yeah.
It's sad, isn't it sad when we heard of, players, and I always remember Jerry Byrne. He died. Great fella, Jerry, he's a lovely fella. Broke his collarbone in the first 10 minutes against Leeds at Wembley and played on with a broken collarbone and put the ball over for Roger to score.
No, that's hard, that, isn't it? That's hard, that.
That's horrible. I remember bruising my collarbone here, my left-hand side.
Yeah.
Oh, for months. Pain. That's why, I admire and respect Samikas. Because his was broke. And, he's getting, back the lad.
When I say hard, I don't mean it's hard to get through. I mean, that's a hard man. A man that can break his collarbone and then play extra time in a full match with a broken collarbone. That's a tough man, that. A tough man.
Yeah. It's so sad, I'm getting some... The last couple of years, it's been horrible for Jets. I'm not just talking about football players. I'm talking about, other players. A good friend of mine, beautiful looking girl, died the other week. In her 30s. Beautiful looking girl. And it didn't half upset me.
That's why you got to appreciate life.
Doesn't it? It's not nice when...
Yeah, of course. I always remember, what's his name? I'll tell you his name in a minute. Anthony Hopkins. And he said, if you've got an ambition, do it. If you want to drink something, drink it. If you want to eat something, eat it. If you want to go somewhere, go there. Because our life, and it reminded me of a Shakespeare quote, actually. And he said, because our life is minuscule, and the minuscule, he said. He said, so do as much as you can while you're there. And that's why I've always said about, we take things for granted as we're younger, and we do. And the quote reminds me of when he says, you know, our life is just like minuscule. Is out brief candle. Think about that. That's a Shakespeare quote. Out brief candle. Because that's what it is. It's a flame. You light the flame of a candle, and you've got to pull it out. It's only a brief flame. That's all life. So we try to get as much out as possible. And as Anne says, Norman says, Anthony Hopkins, Remains of the Day, good film that. He's always made great films. When Eight Bells Toll, brilliant film. Robert Morley, fantastic film. Robert Morley was a great actor. Great actor, eh? And LA says R.I.P. as well.
Yeah, rest in peace.
Yeah. Well, anyway, lads, I want you to have a good rest this afternoon. Do you mind having a good rest this afternoon? Because you're on duty again this evening. Are you all up for it?
Yeah. I'll be fit and reporting for duty, yeah. Look forward to it. We'll have a good old bitch about FSG for a laugh. I don't know if somebody was making it up, but somebody said John W. Henry, when he first got going as like a businessman, he had a window cleaning round, and one fateful day he got up his John W. Henry ladder to clean a window, and a penny fell out of his pocket, and he got down in such haste and panic so quickly that it hit him on the bloody head.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
You got down quicker than the coin could drop, mate.
Don't forget this man, lads. Don't forget him. Never forget this lad here. So it's just for me to say, JK, thank you for all your input about all those films you mentioned.
Quick
about all the
thing. LFC Aaron asked, who's your favourite director? I think he asked a question in the chat. For me, it's Scorsese. And yours, Lee, Frank?
Yeah.
Scorsese's mine.
I really like Andrei Tarkovsky, but a lot of people might not know him. The Russian guy. I love his films. They're quite varied as well, his films. But I really like his stuff, yeah.
My favourite director has to be, look, I'm going to say one, right, but I've got to mention a couple of others. And you'll go, wow, yeah, but he's picked him instead. My favourite actor was Alfred Hitchcock. Alfred Hitchcock. Look at his films, absolutely magical. And then I can't leave out Steven Spielberg and what films he did. And also, I keep forgetting this bloody fella's name, but you'll know who I mean. Lords of the Rings.
Peter Jackson.
Thank you, Peter Jackson. I don't know why I forget his name. So those three, for cinematography, absolutely brilliant. Great director.
I tell you, one that Spielberg did that people tend to forget is Empire of the Sun.
Empire of the Sun, yeah.
But see, I'm very interested in the guy whose story it was, the writer, J.G. Ballard. That was his story. He was Jim, the little kid. That was his story. But he wrote so many. He's seen all that death. He was in one of them prisoner of war camps as a child and seen people dying of starvation. You know what I mean? and obviously that's going to affect you if you're a little boy. And the books he wrote, like when he grew up, just off the charts. Like,
well, Mark Simon says, and he's spot on here. Fellini's Jesus of Nazareth with Robert Powell as Jesus, amazing film. It was absolutely brilliant. LA, Oliver Stone. Oliver Stone.
I know Brian likes David Lynch. You know David Lynch?
Yeah, David Lynch. Yeah. He's a bit of a, one of these cultist directors, isn't he?
Yeah.
I don't like that Wim Wenders, whatever it's bloody name.
Wim Wenders.
Him, yeah, as well.
Yeah.
Hitchcock and Sam Peckinpah. Sam Peckinpah, brilliant. I remember going to see the Wild Bunch on the Picks. I was sitting there like, and it was the first time. Yeah, it was the first time you see it like a soldier sitting on his horse, and he's got his rifle up like that, right, and then he gets shot, and it goes there, and it comes out the other side, but it's all in slow motion, and you go, and the blood, and I went, frightened me. That's how, when they shoot you, that's the way it goes.
I can be squeamish with blood in film. It depends how the blood comes out. If somebody gets shot, I'm not squeamish about that and bleeds. But if they have their wrists cut, I don't like when people do their own wrists, and that I don't like it because it goes everywhere. And I'm like, it makes me cringe. That makes me toes curl when people do their own wrists in a film.
I didn't know you had souls. But LFC Aaron says Clint Eastwood as a director. He's another bad director, actually.
Oh, he's brilliant.
He makes good films.
Yeah. To make the journey from great actor to great director is not always done. A lot of great actors become directors, but they're crap. But not so with Clint Eastwood.
Well, there's a good, the Wild Bunch. Now, there's a good actor, is it Marchant? Someone Marchant, and he did the likes of these, View from a Window and, The Remains of the Day and things like that. I thought he was a very good...
Peter Greenaway, his films are weird, aren't they? Have you seen any of his? Peter Greenaway. The director, Peter Greenaway. The cook, the thief, his wife, and and stuff like that. Drowning by Numbers is another really good one from him.
Well, Mark Simon says David Lynch did Elephant Man with Anthony Hopkins and John Hurt. Brilliant film. Someone mentioned The Midnight Express. I think it was Mark Williams or Mark Simons. I'm sorry. I'm sure it was him. Midnight Express, brilliant. And if you get caught in Turkey, don't go to jail. Don't go to jail. And Gran Torino with Clint Eastwood says Norman. Yeah, that was it. He was just old then, wasn't he? But he's too old now to make films because I've seen him in his last film. And you don't see him getting on his horse or you don't see him getting off his horse. Because, he must have been lifted onto his horse. And you can see he's stooped now, by the way. Captain Sal. Tarantino, Pulp Fiction. Great film. Tarantino's a great director, by the way. So you see, sorry, JK.
Michael Mann.
Michael Mann,
yeah. Heat. He's a top director.
Yeah, Michael Mann, yeah. That's what I mean, like some directors, just like, I'm not saying fade into the background, but then when you mention them, like Heat, for example, cracking film with Pacino and De Niro.
It has a great supporting cast as well, didn't it? Apart from Pacino and De Niro, it had so many other great actors. Val Kilmer was good in it. All the others, what's his name? Wes Studi was good in it.
LFC Aaron. Peter Weir, another great Witness, great film. Yes, Witness. With I like that Kelly McGillis. Have you seen her now?
She put weight on.
Yeah, she looks totally different, but you know, she's got a happy smile, and that, you know, that'll do me. A little happy smile. And Harrison Ford was in it. What LFC Aaron says, Witness. It was good. It was a Lucas Haas. That was his first film, and he was a kid. He was a little Amish kid, and he witnesses a murder. Really good. Herbert Lom's brother, David Lean, forgot about him as well. See, you forget things. But the one that resonates with me, you know, through all genres of films is, as I said, Hitchcock. Because Hitchcock, he was brilliant. One of my favourite films that he did was Witness for the Prosecution. And he had some stars in that. And they're brilliant.
I love Rebecca by Hitchcock.
I love that. That's one of my favourite films.
Mrs. Danvers.
Mrs. Danvers. Oh. Whoa. I used to go to a cafe. It used to bring me people there. And it was called Mrs. Danvers. And you see a big portrait of it, you know, like a cardboard cutout. And Mrs. Danvers standing there like that.
Formidable woman here, wasn't she, Mrs. Danvers?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I had to do a sort of a take for the play, and it was being filmed what I did, you know, my little part. And he said, "Can you look sternish, you know, stern?" The director said to me as he was filming, and I went, "Yeah, all right." And he said, and I thought of Mrs. Danvers. I don't know. And he said, "That's perfect." I said, "Thanks." So Mrs. Danvers, thank you. David Lane, yeah. Mark Simons, Charge of the Light Brigade, yes. Brilliant. Yes. Well in. And, oh, look at that.
Folly's a great word. It was just mental, that one, attacking heavy munitions on horseback, like heavy artillery on horseback.
I want to know if anyone in the chat can tell me. 1971, Rod Steiger, he played Napoleon. Forget the new Napoleon today, absolute miscast, terrible, CGI, awful. But when Rod Steiger, I think Christopher Plummer played Wellington. He did.
Yeah, he did, yeah.
Well, I don't know who directed it. Was that David Lean? Fantastic it was.
You know what? I think it was David Lean. I think it was, you know.
Fantastic film. I don't know, he did Gandhi and all these things, you know.
Hobson's Choice is another David Lean film, innit? With
do you know what else I think he directed as well? When Eight Bells Toll, or is that McLean? You know, the writer. Might be getting mixed up with that. And LFC says, for me, Spielberg is the greatest storyteller of our time. Yeah, that's why I picked him. Because, you know, everything is everything. I remember going to the pictures. I was only young, you know, by the way. I was young once. I did have different colour hair, you know, from this blonde hair I've got, you know. Because you might think it's grey, but it's not. It's blonde. It's just the way it comes out, the light. So I've got blonde hair. But anyway, before I had blonde hair, I had black hair. And I went into the old forum in Lime Street to watch Jaws.
Mm-hmm.
Jaws, right? So I'm sitting there. I went upstairs. I never sat at the riffraff downstairs. I sat upstairs. So I'm sitting there like that. There was a fella over there, but there was two fellas, and they were getting up to go out. Two young fellas, around my age, and they went to get up, and they never bothered till they'd sat back down in the seats. So I was here, and they were just down there a bit. So I'm sitting there, enjoying the film. And when Richard Dreyfuss decides to go and look for Bill Gardner's boat because he was missing, they said, I might have hit something and sunk. So anyway, he goes in and he dives in the water. And as he dives down like that, he sees a hole in the boat where, obviously the water gets in, it sinks. And as he's looking around like that, a tooth comes down.
Mm-hmm.
And I went, oh, that's it, like that, because the music as well. And those two fellas got up and went like that. We were waiting for you to do that because that happened to us, and they got up. They just waited for me because they knew that. I didn't know them from Adam.
The first two Jaws films were good. Jaws 3, the 3D one, was crap. And Jaws 4 was just palpable nonsense with Michael Caine. Jaws 4, The Revenge, where Roy Schneider's wife goes on holiday to the Caribbean, and Jaws How Jaws, the shark, knew that she'd flew to the Caribbean on a plane, I don't know. But that's what happened. Jaws followed her to the Caribbean on holiday. He knew she got on a plane and this was the story. And it was absolute bloody nonsense. I remember going to pictures to see it when I was about 14, and we just sat there ripping the piss out of it and laughing ourselves silly at how shit it was.
Well, anyway, Mark Simon says North by Northwest, Cary Grant and James Mason. Brilliant. Is my all-time Hitchcock classic. Absolutely. But, Cary Grant's, To Catch a Thief as well, where he's in. He was he was a coward in real life. Because when he was living and doing well in Hollywood, as the British actor. And then when war broke out, he changed his nationality to American, so he wouldn't be. Come here. Did you ever see a film called North by North? North, with Lauren Bacall and Kenneth Moore, and it was about getting a little Indian prince, during the 19th century, during the British Raj, the rule, from one place of India to another. Northwest, what was it called?
Northwest Passage?
No, that's a different part. That's a different one. I forget what it was called. But that's on the telly as well. That's usually on that Film 4, not Film 4, Channel 8. Is
it true that the Hindu Kush is named after, they piled up I don't know if it was millions, but thousands of Hindu skulls. The Mughals, when the Mughals invaded from Afghanistan and took India, they killed I think over 1,000 years, they killed about 100 million Hindus or something. I read on the internet, 100 million.
See, anyone can put.
Period. That's what I read. 80 million at least. Is that true, JK? That the Hindu Kush is they piled up a big load of Hindu skulls, you know, to say, this ain't your religion no more, mate. You're joining ours or we'll kill you.
I'm not sure, bro.
No, it wasn't that many. See, look, when you're doing genocide, you're wiping out a race. And in biblical terms today, this is what's happening in Gaza. But what they're doing, which will come out, I don't know whether you know about it now, they're killing the seed of the Palestinians. And in biblical terms, that's what Herod did when he wanted Christ. He wanted to kill the seed. Do you understand?
Yeah, well, the Mughals weren't looking to wipe the Hindus out. They just wanted to convert them to Islam. Was
Well,
all.
it was like the Ottoman Empire. The Ottoman Empire went around, and they were ethnic cleansing. It's what you call ethnic cleansing. It's always gone on. It went on in the Crusades.
Armenia.
You know, that's why, you know, people. I disagree with it, by the way. You know. That's why St. George's Day, everyone has these flags out. What's the English flag, Lee? What's the English flag? Not the Union Jack. What is it?
The St. George.
Yeah. What is it? What is it?
Turkish, isn't it?
Can you describe it?
Oh, white with a red cross.
Okay. Now the red cross represents who? Well, it's Edward the Lionheart, isn't it? Edward the First, because he went on the Crusades to ethnic cleanse. He ethnic cleansed the Muslims. So the red cross represents blood.
I know you went there for a fight, but I never heard of no ethnic cleansing.
Of course, that's what it was all about.
Well, it was them that got wiped out, not the Muslims.
Yeah, that's what it was all about. Will you let me finish?
Yeah, I'm just correcting.
Okay, now you're starting it again. I'm giving up. I'll see you tonight.
No, I didn't know the Crusades wasn't ethnic cleansing. I thought it was just a fight over Jerusalem or some shit. Like,
don't be stupid.
No,
it was ethnic cleansing.
No, there is that, like. No,
it was ethnic cleansing. Ethnic cleansing. They tried to ethnic cleanse the Catholics in this country. You know, if you ever read Sir Edmund Spencer's Fairy Queen, where he sliced the head of the dragon. The dragon's head falls off, and you get all the black, as they think is blood, but it's not. That was the head of the Pope, and the black spew was the Catholic doctrine, the ink of the Catholic doctrine.
Was St. George Turkish or something, was he? Yeah.
They say he was Turkish, they say he was a Cypriot, they say he was anything, but he wasn't English. He wasn't English.
Yeah.
Ridley Scott, formidable director, LFCR, and so was, he says, Robert Altman, The Long Goodbye. One of the ones put in The Longest Day. The Longest Day, directed by, God, blimey, forget his name. Anyway, Herbert Lom, good cast. That when Eight Bells Toll, Robert Morley and Jack Hawkins and Belgian director Etienne Pacler. Yeah, I didn't know that. I didn't know he did. Thank you, Herbert Lom, about that film director. Audie Murphy, a Rail War hero, who was a film star, yes. Audie Murphy. He was the most decorated soldier of World War II, American. Captain Norman Cross. There is a Norman Cross. But it represents, it symbolizes blood, epitomizes blood, epitomizes the ethnic cleansing. And the Muslims invaded Spain and ruled for 872 years before being kicked out by El Cid. I knew a fella named El Cid, believe it or not. But the Ottoman Empire, they went into the, around the Yugoslavia area at the time, and they were ethnic cleansing. They were ethnic cleansing. And,
the Ottomans were experts at ethnic cleansing, weren't they?
But have you noticed today, NATO, them pricks, they went in and bombed Serbia in 1999, bombed Serbia, bombed them, NATO, Serbia, and Serbia's never forgiven them for that. And they're still trying to, NATO and America are still trying to divide their country.
Yeah.
Moldova, they're all Serbians. Don't call that Moldova, and you belong to NATO now. You know what I mean? And this is what it's all about. This is what it's all about. It's about ethnic cleansing, right? So they stopped it. They stopped all that. But if you notice what's happening today, they're not stopping what's happening in Gaza.
Yeah, because they can't.
Kids are dying of starved. I'm not saying like, oh yeah, he's dying. I'm not saying that. They're fucking dying. They're actually they're expiring as we speak. Someone has just died from starvation. Babies.
They can't
and
stop.
They're allowing it.
They haven't got the power.
They're allowing it. The EU resolution. They're phony them. They're run by America, and they abstained. They abstained.
Think about that. Who runs America?
Exactly. I fucking hate it. I hate them. Yeah, look, Mark Simons. The red fez at the Moroccans wear represents blood of Christians killed by the Caliphate in North Africa. So history, as Tolstoy, he said, history would be a wonderful thing if it was true.
Great quote, because
love Tolstoy. What's his most favourite book?
Isn't it? So they write it any way they want, don't they?
Yeah. Well,
like the Americans claiming to have won the Second World War. Don't think so, mate.
And the first. Oh, don't forget the first.
You hardly
they won the First World War as well. Piss off. Piss off. You won't. You couldn't even beat lads who went to war with a rifle on the back, riding a bike in flip-flops in Afghanistan. And then, lads coming through jungles in Vietnam.
See,
I love the smell of napalm in the morning.
It's not having the
horrible line that is.
Having the will to fight. You've got to have, a sufficient reason to come out the victor, and the Vietnamese did have that reason, and they had backing from the Soviets and the Chinese, and the Americans were well out of their depth fighting against them. They couldn't match them for sheer what's the word? But the Vietnamese just wanted to do it. The Americans didn't. The soldiers didn't really want to be there. The government wanted the soldiers there, but the soldiers didn't want to be there. They knew it was bollocks when they got there. They were like, "Why are we here? Why have we been sent here to the other side of the planet for this?"
Well, it's like the Earl of Essex when he was sent in 1600 over to 1601 over to Ireland. And Robert Cecil says, listen, kill all the Irish. And anyway, he was there, he was sent there on a purpose, and he turned around to his mates and went, what the we doing here? Why are we here? And then they found out about Elizabeth I. So he went, let's get over there. Let's sort this out. And he came over. Obviously, you don't know about this. And then he came over with some of the lads to overthrow Elizabeth. Did you know that? No.
Oh no, I think it's. Sorry, I did know that, but I've forgotten about it. Yeah, I heard about that, Frank. Yeah.
Right. So he came over, but I'm giving a lecture on the 8th of May. About that. I'm doing us up. I've got to do us up in St. Helens, some college. Do you want to come?
Yeah, I'd like to see that, mate. I said I wanted to see you Jack the Ripper one, but I missed
it. But you went missing.
Yeah, I think I was busy doing something, trying to get something.
There you go. You know, I can't help this.
Jack the Ripper Gripton.
Yeah,
he went missing. Yeah, Jack the Ripper Gripton. He escaped.
I'd like to see you one about what you just said then, like, because that'd be interesting to me. Definitely, that like be interesting.
Yeah, this, the Gunpowder plot. This lady came specially to. I was doing the Jack the Ripper thing, and she came over to me and she said, "I listened to you the other week doing the Gunpowder plot. Can you come too?" And she mentioned this column. She said, "It'll be fascinating." I said, "Yeah, sure." I said, "Are they interested in that?" And they went, "I've told them about it." And they didn't know anything about it. So I said, "Yeah, come on. There's more to it than." Jean says, "Thank you at Frank Carlyle panel and chat. Another great stream. At JK, you never walk alone. I just wanted to say a big respect to you because you work hard. I appreciate you 110%. And all those little gifts. Have a great day, everyone. Isn't that lovely? Thank you, Jean. I'll get hold of you. I don't mean literally. Like, I'll get hold of you. I'll send you a message, okay? And Captain Sal, I always say this, Captain. History is written by the victors.
Exactly.
That's why. Go on, JK. So sorry.
No, I was going to say, war happens when you try to get something off someone and they don't want to give it to you. And Plato also said, only the dead see the end of war. So you've got to understand it. When you're born on this planet, are you willing to give your life up in 20 years that you go to another country for your government to be involved in robbing and then something happens in that journey that you've gone there and your life is no more? There's no common sense in that. So exactly what Captain Sal wrote there, history is written by the victors, of course. The opposition were like this, that, and the other, and we did this for the world. You know, that sort of flow they come out with. Same as when Bush, after 9/11, the way he stood there on the rubble, giving it all this. That was for me. Yeah. That was the masses were so blinded, thinking this guy's coming there and he's just saying America, and everyone's joining in with him, and that's how easy it was to influence them people. You know.
You'll have to listen to George Galway on his show, his stream. Goes out on Sundays and Wednesdays. Brilliant. Talking like you and I now. And this is what you've got. As you know, you're getting. I love William Blake, the poet. And he wrote a thing called London. And he's writing everything, you know, what's in that little small poem. He says, as blood runs down palace walls, the hapless soldier sighs. You know, because, you know, it's like that other famous quote. The rich start wars, and it's the poor who die.
Mm-hmm.
You pay for it, yep.
And that's it.
That's it.
And,
that's why they make the world expensive. That's why they make life difficult, because if you've got a comfortable life, you know we're going to the other side of the world to do a war. You know, you think my life's good. So, but if your life's got sort of down the pan and this, that, and the other, vulnerable people, they end up going into the army. You know, what made me really astonished was Sundays when football comes on, big games, Liverpool, Man City, whatever. At half time, they're doing adverts for recruitment for the forces. Why? Majority of young lads watching the game think, oh, that looks interesting. That's the world we live in. Yeah.
I know. I went when I was 21. I was fed up, and I went to London Road to the recruitment office, and I went there and I said, I want to join the army, you know. So, well, you know, regiments, different regiments. And I said, well, I don't know too much. So they gave me 2 papers. They said, yeah, can you fill them in? And it was a test. So I filled them in. And they came out and they looked at me. And this sergeant, genuineness, he went in the room and he came back out again and he gave me another 2 papers. He said, I'll leave the door open if you don't mind. I said, yeah, okay. Now I'm 21. So I sat down. And I did these 2 papers within 5 minutes. You know, as much as I could write, you know, as fast as I could write. And he came out. I came out and he was standing there, right there, you know, watching everything I did. Came out and he said, can you just sit there a minute? He said, okay. I said, okay, yes, sat there. He went in with the 2 papers and came out. And they were looking at me, this officer, he was an officer, this is in London Road, they're looking like that. And he said, are you at university or anyway? I said, yeah. I said, so I'm fed up with it, and it's dead honest, you know. And I don't know whether, did they ever tell you my IQ? JK.
Did you read that, bro?
Did I ever tell you what my IQ is?
168, was it?
Oh, yeah. Oh, you know then, yeah. Mm-hmm. And they were, but what we'd like you to do is go to a place in Sandhurst. I said, where's that? He said, Sandhurst is for officers.
Mm-hmm.
And I looked at him and I went, no thanks. So anyway, he said, no. He said, I'll be good. So anyway, I went away. And when I get home, a few days later, I didn't go back. And he came to the house, the sergeant. And I was with my grandmother. And my grandmother told him, because she lost my brothers and that, you know. And she said, no, come on, he's not joining no army. Mm-hmm. So I nearly joined the army. And that's it.
I never considered the army. It would have been, well, you could have done me good, but it was never something I ever considered. I think my dad tried to get him when he was about 18, but when my dad was about 14, his mate threw a piece of coal at him and it hit him in the eye, and he's only got like half vision in one eye because this piece of coal, a load of shit and dirt come out of it, and he's got crap vision in one eye because of it. Even when he was just 18, he had the crap vision because the piece of coal kettled his eye, and he couldn't get in because of his eyesight, me dad. But I probably wouldn't exist. If he'd have got in the army, I wouldn't exist. Because he wouldn't have met me.
Okay, lads. Thank you for staying with me, and I'll see you all tonight, because everybody, you know. But I love that little quote there. History is written by the victors.
Always, Sal.
Always. And the poems when you get the poems, like you know, if I should say, think only this of me, that there's some corner of a foreign field that is forever England, in that rich earth, the richer dust concealed, the dust New England bore, shape made away, gave once her love for flowers, of ways to roam, a body of England's breeding English, yeah. You know, all that is great poetry, but it's patriotic poetry. But the poetry I like is the horrors of war. The likes of Wilfred Owen, Siegfried Sassoon, these lads. And those lads wrote about what was happening. And they especially Wilfred Owen's poems weren't published until 1930 because they didn't want the people to know about the wars, the horrors of the First World War, that is. Anyway, enough about. Let's just go on for the last quote. Comment. Every record has been falsified. Every book rewritten. Every picture repainted. Every statue renamed. Every date has been altered, and the process is continuing day by day. History has stopped. 1984. Oh well. Oh well. It's like Rudyard Kipling. You know, Rudyard Kipling. You know that, JK, Rudyard Kipling. He has a son. His son, Harry, said to his dad, you know, get me in the army, because he was being refused because of his eyesight. He had bad eyesight. So he went to a couple of generals. Listen, my son wants to do his duty, because don't forget, even Wilhelm II, my troops will be home before the leaves fall off the trees. That's what he said. And Earl Grey said, oh yeah, we'll be all home for Christmas. They thought that it was just going to be bing, 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 over. And anyway, so he got into it. He got into the army. He went over the top. And the whistle went to get back to the lines. And with his bad eyesight, he went towards the German lines and he was killed. He was shot to pieces. And he blamed himself for that. And Menin Gate, the last post, every night, 24/7, comes out of his estate now because he paid for the last post to be played. The last post to be played. Mm-hmm. And he wrote one of the shortest poems written. And it is this. Because he had to sign a paper, you know, he had to sign it. It's like every other dad who wants their sons, oh, Dad, I want to go in the army. I want to join up. 14, 15 years of age. And their dads were signing away, letting their sons, 14 and 15, join the army.
Yeah.
Where they were killed.
Yeah.
So anyway, he wrote this poem. Don't forget he signed it as well, Rudyard Kipling. Do you know where his name came from, actually, Rudyard?
Mm-hmm.
It came from a lake. That's where he was conceived, in a cottage by the lake. Mm-hmm. Rudyard. Forget where it is. Forget what county it's in. Anyway, he wrote this poem, and I'm going to leave it on this. If any question why we died, tell them because our fathers lied.
Yeah.
How powerful is that?
Great, that's great word. Great words, Phil.
Have a good one, everyone. You never walk alone, 100%, says our lovely G. And roll me one, fat boy. I changed it. Roll me one up, fat boy. I can always this. That was funny, that the other day. Hope you're all well. Frank, Lee, and JK. We're finishing
Nice,
now,
man.
roll me up, but we'll see you tonight at 8 o'clock if you want to join us for another in-depth look at everything. Oh, it's me, Darryl. Look, it's you changed off, Darryl. I thought you changed your name. Roll me one up, fat boy. Oh, crazy, Mr. Faulty, crazy. Anyway, I'm going. See you later on tonight, boys. Thank you. See you
Take
later.
care, guys.
Okay, see you after, guys. See you tonight.
See you tonight. Ta-ra, JK. Thank you.
Take care,
Ta-ra.
bro.